Hey y'all, how you doing today? Are you ready for your next workshop? Because you're in the right place. That's right. Who am I? I'm Crystal Lindsay,
And I'm Kyle Motal.
and this is our fourth quarter mascot. That's right. What? We're having a good time today because we want you to know the power of preparing for fourth quarter. So the reality is business owners are looking at getting 70% of their revenue from fourth quarter, and most businesses don't have a plan. So we're going to walk you through this. Kyle, why don't you kick us off with just our overview of our two-part series on
Yeah, absolutely. So this is all about the fourth quarter. We're going to get you prepared and ready for the fourth quarter because we want you to have a plan. We want you to really tackle it and really bring that revenue in for your business. So the part one here, this is that post-COVID culture online. This is that presence that people are looking for when they Google you. What do they want to see? And so this is all about, and also 2021 shopping trends. We're going to touch on that. And so we're so excited to really kick this off for y'all.
That's right. And so you can see now that we are in the midst of Christmas in July, just like Kyle said here. So he just went over the two-part series, and I got to know, are you ready for the next slide? I got to know if you are going to be prepared for this. So Kyle, why don't you go ahead and walk us in to what this looks like? What does this picture say to you? Ready, set, go.
Yeah, this is what it's about. It's time. It's time to prepare for the holiday season because guess what? If you don't have a plan right now and really structuring that, it's going to be hard to really get it on the fly when shoppers are out there. They're on their feet. They're walking in business. They're looking for e-commerce. They're looking for ways to buy online. So this is the time for you to prepare to really capitalize on that investment.
And you know, people think it's funny when I start talking about gingerbread cookies in July, but the reality is it is upon us. I just was talking with somebody 2 seconds ago, and she said I already bought 3 Christmas gifts, and she outlined which ones those are. So if you're shopping for a friend and a loved one, now is the time. But if you're a business owner, now is the time. One of our big tips and takeaway today is that Christmas shopping is starting earlier and earlier, and you have to be ready with a campaign to engage those current customers and bring new people in the door. So with that, let's go ahead and drop some existing statistics on what it's looking like post-COVID culture here. So currently, the number of cases, you see the numbers on there, 34.8 million. There have been 622 deaths. I want to drop that curve in there so you can really see how last Christmas, it was at its all-time high. What does that curve say to you and where we're at now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really getting on the tail end. This is straight up post-COVID, and people are ready to get out and about. We're seeing this around town. People are excited. So guess what that's going to do? It's going to bring people in your store. They're going to be wanting to shop. They're going to be wanting to spend money because they didn't get to spend time with their families last Christmas.
Oh man, that's exactly it. People are dying to get out and about after last year, and now more than ever, the holidays are going to peak. You may be thinking though, I've heard that discretionary spending is down. I don't know if people are going to come out and shop. What are the projections for fourth quarter, knowing, all of this is going on? This next slide is going to put it all in perspective, right? You can see here that the retail e-commerce holiday budgets have increased. So the percentage, if you look at the red, the percentage of change is down. So last year it boomed even higher. This year it's not growing as much. But if you look at those numbers from 2016 to 2021, it has more than doubled. So in 5 years, holiday spending has more than doubled. Does that blow you away, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, people are wanting to get out. They're wanting to buy. Holiday spending is at its peak, and so it's only going to get even more, affluent, and people are going to really capitalize on it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And this next slide is exactly what you need to hear right now. Do you have a Q4 plan? Again, statistics show that 70% of most businesses' revenue comes from Q4, but most businesses don't have a plan. So looking at the statistic, it really stood out to me, Kyle. E-commerce will account for 18.9% of this total holiday season. That's the 2021 data. So I'm like, whoa, 20%. That's 1 in 5 people who are going to be out there shopping are shopping online. That is a record high. What does that say to you?
Yeah, but what about the 4 out of 5?
Oh.
So, yeah, we got the 4 out of 5 that are going to be walking in your store. So really having that full spectrum, having that e-commerce to really drive that traffic to your website, really create that easy buying experience, but also creating that foot traffic into your store.
Absolutely. And we already know, if you've been watching us for a while, that you are more than 500 times more likely to close an existing customer than a new customer. So we're going to encourage you to go after your existing customer base and new customers, both online and in person. So you can see why you need to have a plan, because you're looking at this matrix of all these different variables. But if you really oversimplify it, the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, still stands, which is what's driving 80% of your sales. Now, most businesses are going to see about an 18.9% who offer holiday sales online are going to see about 18-19% online. But most businesses, that means, are going to see 80% of people walking in their doors again. So do you have a plan, and what are you getting people in your doors? How are you getting them in? That's what today's about. So before we jump into a little bit of how to get people in the doors though, there's still this component of what do people look at online. So let's say, if somebody finds your ad on online, or they meet you on Facebook, or somebody's sitting next to you and they say, oh, you got to go down to so-and-so's boutique for that. So they get a personal referral. What's the first thing that they're going to do?
Well, I know what my clients would say, and that'd be, well, they're going to call me.
Yeah, that's what you hope, right? And if you're out there and you're thinking, look, when people get me as a referral, they're going to what? They're going to call me. Yes. No. It's serious. I need you to really listen to me now. What are they going to do?
They're going to look you up on Google.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead. Drop the next slide.
I mean, seriously. So people are going to be, and this happens all the time. You're right next to your friend. They tell you about Joe Schmo's a mechanic shop. Let's go and Google and look at how many reviews they have on Google. Let's see what their online presence is.
Exactly. And so there's three main components. We know from research and from customer and experience and our personal experience that there's three main places somebody's going to look at. And usually this happens within even like 90 seconds, 2 minutes. It goes so fast. And these are the three places people are going to look at to see if they trust you and want to do business with you. So again, we're going to talk about in part 2 how to actually set up that campaign to drive people in and foot traffic, how to set up an ad campaign to be able to promote your online retail sales if that's available. But today, let's really look at the foundation of what you need to have online. So 1 is going to be Google My Business, 2 is going to be they're going to check you on social, and 3 is website. Now, it's worth noting that when somebody Googles you, you want to be seen as credible. So let's look at the next slide here. And we love Heritage Mark. So special shout out to Heritage Mark. This is your premier place for real estate and for office space, excuse me. And they are going to be your go-to people here in Victoria. So special shout out to Heritage Mark, one of our sponsors. We love y'all. So with this, look, this shows me, I Googled them right away. Somebody said, oh, you need an office? Check out Heritage Mark. And so what do while I'm sitting there? I pull out my phone and I Google it. This shows up instantly. This is called what?
Google My Business.
Google My Business. And this is how you shake the sheriff's hand. I call Google the sheriff. He's the decision maker in town. So walk me through how this builds trust with somebody when they first Google.
Yeah, absolutely. So this builds credibility. People are looking and seeing if you are trustworthy on Google. And so this is really that stamp of approval, the Google My Business. So what I noticed here on Heritage Mark is their picture is very clear. It's the front of their building. You definitely see it there off in Navarro. And so they are building that trust factor because you see it when you're driving by. So you see it now on Google. And so they know they're at the right place when people are looking for office space. Next thing I noticed here is the reviews, 4.2 star rating. And so that's very credible, 19 Google reviews. You can easily scan through the reviews onto Google My Business. And so this really helps that consumer when they're looking for office space.
100%, 100%. And so you can see instantly, you can see everything at where it's all linked together. We talked the second thing about social, and you can see those social channels are added right there in the corner. So this is a really easy way to get your social to show up at the top line of Google when they search for you. Facebook naturally gets promoted by Google because they're obviously very trustworthy and relevant, and Google likes Facebook for that. So if you have a Facebook account, they're going to promote your Facebook account right at the beginning. If you link up your LinkedIn as well, they'll go ahead and promote that. So this is a key way to be able to drive awareness for your business. That is absolutely the first step to getting set up and getting recommended, where people look for your credibility. affordability. So let's look at the next one though. This is where they're actually going to look at your website. So this is linked. We love Heritage Mart's website. If you haven't seen it, again, if you're looking for office space, premier office space right here in Victoria, you got to check out this website.
And this is the first step of the, building that trust
Yes,
factor for
yes.
consumer, because we've noticed here on the last slide on the Google My Business, we had that picture of Heritage Mart
Yeah.
in front of the business.
Yeah.
And then we go to their website, it's the same picture. People know they're in the same place.
Absolutely. And when you go to the third one, you'll see again that logo's carried through, the colors are carried through. They're celebrating the local community here. So again, this is that 3-point thing. So they're going to look at, are you on Google My Business? They don't even know if they're asking that. They're saying, do you show up on maps? Are you a credible business? But that one step actually makes you a credible business. 2, is there a website linked to it? They're going to look at that briefly and see if it matches when they go to Facebook. And they're going to look at how many people have followed you when your latest post is. So that is what people are going to do. Then take the time now before fourth quarter to put your fingers in that. So obviously, we're going to give you some tips right now on 2021 shopping trends for the holiday season. But make sure you do this foundation work first. If you don't have a Google My Business, make a Google My Business. Go to business.google.com and set it up. If you already have one and you don't have photos on it, take time to upload even upwards of 100 photos. Google loves the photos. If you don't have reviews on there, everybody in your office can leave a review for yourself, okay? If you don't have your socials linked, put your link there. If you don't have your About Us, take the time to do your Google My Business right now before the stress of the holidays. Make sure your website is linked and make sure what your website looks like, the top of your Facebook looks like as well. Anything before we move on?
Yeah, that's so good. And definitely prepping people right now for the holiday season. So asking those questions in your social posts about, have you thought about the holiday season yet? This is a great time to really prep those customers in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I would even say one step further to that is to go ahead to the next one. You want to turn your inbox into a cash register. Now, this is how you engage your existing customers. So new customers are not necessarily going to walk in your doors right now and say, where's your, holiday aisle, right? But what they may want is your existing customers may want best deals. So the woman I was just talking to ended up buying Under Armour underwear for her son or something. I don't know. People are brand loyal, okay? So, but they're expensive, I guess. I don't know. And so they had a sale. They text messaged her and she clicked through and she bought. Now, she's waiting for the email promotion from Victoria's Secret because that apparently is going to one of her other family members. And then that's going to bring her in. So she's anticipating and awaiting a sale from the brands that she's brand loyal to and buying Christmas presents. And guess what? She is not alone. So you may not be able to engage a fourth quarter rollout, full Christmas blitz to new customers, but your current customers are looking for good deals right now. So get them thinking about their friends and family, not just themselves, and let them know this is a perfect stocking stuffer and it's never too early to get started.
Absolutely. Those are the people who know, like, and trust you already. And so really tuning it up and really getting that deals and promos out through email marketing is a great way, like Krista said, to really market those people.
Yeah, so good, so good. All right, now, before we go forward on this, I want to really drill down on turn your inbox into a cash register. Your inbox can be your text message. Your inbox can be your email marketing. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you do something to engage your existing customers. Text messaging right now, we do a text messaging follow-up system for $40 a month. It's very affordable. Okay, for email marketing, we can set you up for constant contact, $40 a month. So if it's the same price, what would be the benefit of when you would use constant contact or MailChimp versus text messaging? What would you say to somebody who's considering?
Well, absolutely. So let's think about this for a second. So email, a lot of people may not open that email, but a text message, they are way more likely to open that text message and see the content available in that message.
Yeah, a perfect example, Rue 21 in the mall. Okay, apparently my new favorite store. I've got a teenage daughter. So we went in there, we dropped about $300. And they said, do you want to give us your phone number to get alerts on deals? Now, I did not want to give my email. I did give my phone number. So within 24 hours, they text message marketed me and said, right now, for today only, all clearance items online are buy one, get one free. And so you better believe, I went on and bought about $100 more of this, buy one, get one free. And then again, 48 hours later, they hit me up again and they said, right now you get $10 off of a $50 order and it's still buy one, get one free. So I went back again and bought some more. Long story short, I did this 3 times this month. My original $300 order is now, I've spent over $1,000 with Route 21 this month. So I'd like to also point out my daughter got me stuff. I'm not the only one. But the reality is text messaging works and I love it. I'm excited when they text me because I want to know the deals that I'm getting as an exclusive member. Would I be excited about email? No, I wouldn't. But that's because that's me as a person. I prefer text messaging. Now, do you know people who don't like to text message?
And that could be, it's all about your buyer persona, right?
It's
It's
what we're
all about your
Yes.
clients, your ideal client, the client that you want 10 more just like. Are they gonna like email more or are they gonna like text message? So really leveraging that is definitely gonna give you that clear answer.
100%. And so if you have an older demographic, like the baby boomers, if you're, luxury real estate agent and your demographic is, 45 to 55, or you have a copy machine or office, supply company, and you're going after business owners who are 35 to 65, they may prefer more emails than text messaging. So take that into account and figure out which one is good for you. But constant contact, actually for their $40 a month, you can get a text messaging setup as well as email marketing. Either way, once you pay the $40 a month to host it, you put your leads inside of it and now it's free to send it out. So that Gordon Burrell, we love his data here. He gave the statistic that actual email marketing is the #1 highest ROI for small business. And that's just an eye opener. And I think when he says email marketing, he's including the text messaging on the horizon because it's that same free to send money coming back, right? And I guess that one of the other statistics I want to emphasize here is you get about $1 a lead per month. So let's say you have a list of about 10,000 people on your list. You should be looking at earning on average about $10,000 a month through your email marketing. So take that into account. I did see we just had a comment pop up. So go ahead and take the next bullet point. I'm going to check on the comment.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is all about really starting early. So we're talking about prepping up your current customers and really getting them really in tune so they can think of you when they are shopping for the holiday season. And then lastly, tune up your subject line. So this really goes back to the email marketing, and the most read part of email is the subject line. So really this is a way to entice people to really open that email and then really grab that content to make them enticing, click on that link to direct them to the sale or promotion, whatever you're having, so that they can be ready to buy and really come to your store to really jack up those sales.
Absolutely. And Terry Moten wants to know, how often is too often for text message and email marketing? Great question. And Terry Moten is your business problem solver, so special shout out to Terry Moten. Now, the question is, the answer is fluid, right? So it depends on your customer, and it also depends on where they're at in the buying journey. So for me, if I was just considering, summer clothes, let's say, I just bought a whole new summer. So if I was just considering summer dresses or whatever it is, I do not want you to text me and email me and blow me up at the beginning. But once I've purchased and I've shown an intent and brand loyalty and purchased from you, I would say that is the sweet spot. So once somebody has purchased, sending them a follow-up thank you deal within 24 hours. For me, I think they hit me up within like 5 hours. The first one came and it was highly effective. I clicked through and purchased. The next one came the next day and the next one came about 4 days later. And I clicked through and there was, I think, one other one I didn't click through. But that would be about the cadence. If you are a retail shop and you actually have products that you're pushing out, that within the 5 hours of them closing, offering them an upsell that would give you a higher profit margin and enhance their purchase, I say do that instantly, almost within the first couple of hours. Have another one 24 hours to reinforce that message. And then maybe 2 days later, take that to the next level and give them an extra discount if they haven't already taken action. Other than that, once a week is kind of a good cadence. I know I love Murad. They do face cleansers and such, and they message me, I would say about twice a month. And again, I really look forward to those text messages because I genuinely have brand loyalty and love a good deal. So I'm waiting for the deals to come in. I'm looking for those text messages about 2. What would
Yeah,
you say?
that's really good, and definitely, I would say, at the most 4 times a month, and through an email, because there's a lot of times where I'm getting emails from Kohl's, for example, 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm like, I just get flooded with emails, and
Yeah, you don't need that.
at the point, it's just absolutely. So that is definitely a great point.
Well, and then actually, I want to touch on this too. So there's something I call it the jab hook, right? It's that educate and entertain before you actually ask for the sale. So if you were sending 2 or 3 emails a week, make sure that 2 of them are value adds, right? Maybe one's a funny meme and the other one is something based on a new statistic that your buyer persona cares about. And then you ask for the sale. That would be 3 in 1 week. That would be a lot, but you didn't send 3 sales emails in 1 week. But I would say about 1 sales email a week at most, if not 2 a month.
And another thing I like to add is look at the data.
Yeah.
Look at really how the open rates and really work that around and make the data work for you and
so
what's
good.
going to work good.
So good. You mean we should look at data to make informed choices? Look, little Moosey here is shocked. He is shocked, okay? I'm telling you how many times I've talked to a business owner. I said, do you have Google Analytics set up on your website? And they said no. So if you're out there and you don't have Google Analytics set up, that is something you can do to prepare for Q4. It is simple as spending 5-10 minutes, just Google it, connect it, or hire a professional. But you need to know where people are coming from when they come to your site so you can make informed decisions on what to invest in. Similarly, with Constant Contact, when you send out an email, you can see how many people opened it when you send it at 8 a.m. versus 8 p.m. and then make an informed choice for the next time. Really, really great point. All right, let's go on to the next slide here. I feel like we've really talked this one to death. But it is so important here. So I want to finish with a couple shopping trends. So we talked about dripping out some emails, but get them pre-written. I remember last year I did a 10-part email series for a Mexican restaurant, of all things. I did a 10-part series email drip campaign for a clothing company. And I did a 10-part drip series for an attorney, of all things. So it doesn't matter if you're service-oriented, product-oriented, high-end, low-end, buying cycle is long or short, you can set up a drip campaign. And we actually, as an agency, will write emails for you, $75 each. It's not very much. And that includes sending it out and doing analytics. But whether or not you work with us or somebody else or write it yourself, don't just not do it because you don't have time. Again, email is the #1 highest ROI for any small business marketing. So if you're not using email marketing, you're missing out.
That's so good. And Crystal mentioned earlier, it's about $1 per email of revenue that you will receive. So think about it. You have 10,000 emails in your contact, your CRM. You send those emails that deal and promotes to 10,000 people. That's about $1 revenue. That's $10,000.
And look, if you're a small business and you only got, let's say, 1,000 people on your contact list, would you not like another $1,000 a month in business? Again, don't not do it because you don't have time. I know how it is as an entrepreneur. Your list gets longer every day, not shorter, but you need to make time for this. That's why we're starting early. And then the SMS texting is just a fancy way to say actually text message marketing on your phone. We also already talked about re-engaging your current shoppers with a deal or incentive to bring them in, and then getting started early for this coming planning season. Anything you want to add, though? We're going to talk a little bit about social and best times to post and kind of wrap this up, but what do you think, Val?
Yeah, definitely really making that easy buying experience for that customer, and really going after those current shoppers that came in last year, because those are the ones who are most likely to interact and come back to your store.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so last 2 slides here. One is I want you to pick your social media channel, okay? And so what do I mean pick your social media channel? I've got one of every channel here on this. Why do I have to pick one? You need to choose your core platform. And this is where you double down your efforts. And then other than that, you can then splinter that content and you can post to the other channels, but choose your core one today based on who's actually on it and who you're targeting. So what would you say to someone who says, I'm reaching the high end, the low end, the young, the old, everybody and their mother, I don't really have a buyer persona, which channel?
Right, but what is driving 80% of your business?
That's even a better
What
question.
is the demographic reach that is driving your business? So really using that Pareto principle on everything to really nail down that core channel and really reaching out to those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And so pick your demographic based on who is your actual client. You want 10 more just like. So again, think of that think of the product that is driving your business, 80%, and then think of the customer you want 10 more just like, and then ask them, if you don't know, what channel they prefer. But chances are, if you're all over the map, it's probably going to be Facebook. Okay, Facebook is still the biggest microphone there is to reach people. It's extremely important. Instagram is if you're going after the younger demographic who's kind of 16 to 35. My daughter, for example, 17 years old, and she loves Instagram. She just kind of grew out of TikTok, I guess. I don't know. So maybe like 14 to 16 is TikTok, and then 17 they graduate to Instagram. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. And then you can still use hashtags. You can boost posts and do stories, but it's really a lot about hashtags for exposure.
Definitely. And I also want to add, what channel do you have the most followers? Really growing those followers, and then having those other channels organically grow as well is a great benefit.
Absolutely. And if you're doing videos like this, let's say YouTube Live, or excuse me, a Facebook Live, download the video and upload it to YouTube, because YouTube actually indexes the words coming out of your mouth. So you don't even have to write fancy subtitles, but the key words get indexed. Now, why should I care if YouTube indexes what I say?
Well, hold on, Crystal. Who's the #1 search engine in the world?
Google.
Who's #2?
Is it Bing? No, it's YouTube. Okay, so you want to get your keywords indexed into the #1 and #2 search engine, because
it's going to increase your SEO.
Yes.
You're going to be seen when people are searching online looking for your business and services. And so then Facebook organically is mixed. And when you put that Facebook Live video, like Crystal was saying, upload it to YouTube, because those words are indexed.
yes, and we forgot to tell them also, Google owns YouTube. So your keywords get in the #1 and the #2 search engine. And then the last one here that we're talking about is Twitter. This is going to be your highest educated audience. It also is important for Google. It gets highly indexed into Google, the words you put out there. I didn't put LinkedIn up here, but it has the highest number of millionaires. So if you're looking to get it in front of high net worth individuals and decision makers, that would be Twitter and LinkedIn. So with that being said, again, I want you to pick your channel. On the next slide here, you're going to see the actual best times to be able to post. Again, Monday through Saturday at 11 on Facebook, for example, Twitter 7 to 9 a.m. But just make sure you are posting. So today, again, we just wanted to really reinforce this post-COVID culture. We wanted you to understand specifically how to improve your basic online presence to prepare for Q4. And we want you to see the shopping trends that you need to start early, engage your current shoppers. You need to use email and text messaging to really reinforce this. But the rubber hits the road on the next workshop. So what do people look for on the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're definitely going to be talking about the next workshop, and it's going to be a great one. So we're going to talk about really creating your top performing campaign to really build around this, right? So the first thing I want you to take away today is Google My Business.
Yes.
That's one of the most overlooked and simple things you need for your business, because people are searching for that's the new Yellow Pages, and so that's the business directory on Google. And so really upgrading those photos, the reviews, everything of that nature will definitely bring you peace when you're going into Q4.
Yeah, 100%. Get your Google My Business right, get your website right, get your social right, because we're taking you through how to drive traffic on this next one. We've got a worksheet. We're going through the specific dates of Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Black Friday, you name it, and we're going to help you come up with an exact campaign on our next workshop to apply what we went through today. So you'll see our contact information on the slide, and you can reach out to us at this information, and you will see specifically our cell phones and emails there. So Kyle got a new headshot. I got one, but I don't really, I'm not really feeling it yet. So stay tuned on my new headshot. I'm gonna get that up there. But with that, you can absolutely reach out to us. Text messages and phone calls are great. Again, I'm Crystal Lindsay.
And I'm Kyle Mozall.
And we are M. Roberts Digital. I want to say thank you again to our sponsors for being part of this. We love Terry Moten, your business problem solver. We love our favorite premier office leasing space, Heritage Mark. Thank you so much for that. And of course, Victoria Advocate for hosting and helping promote this today. Who am I forgetting?
Yeah, so M. Roberts Digital.
And
Definitely.
Roberts Digital,
Woo-hoo.
of course. And we just got a new commercial, so we'll have to have that ready for the next one. So with that, thank y'all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Crystal Lindsay, and I'm signing off. I'll see you at the next workshop.